Today we will be talking about the Ultrahuman Ring Air and doing a 3-month review of my personal experience. And by the end, you'll be able to find out whether this is the future of fitness. So, first things first, before we get started, I'd like to say hello to everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Exclusive. Today I am super excited to introduce you to the Ultrahuman Ring Air. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do is go straight to the website, which is ultrahuman.com. I will have the link in the description below. If you have seen my video where I talk about unboxing it, I did briefly view the website, but today we're just going to go into a little bit more in depth so you can have a better understanding of what the Ultrahuman Ring is. Then, of course, at the end, I'll give you my personal opinion, being that I've had it for at least 3 months now, and I have been using it every single day. And we'll talk about whether it's worth it or not, based off of my opinion, of course. So, as you can see here, the Ultrahuman Ring is the world's lightest smart ring, the Ultrahuman Ring Air. It accurately measures your sleep, HRV, which is heart rate variability, movement, and temperature, with insights to help you improve your health every day, and so much more. For those of you who do have FSAs or HSAs, those are eligible. I actually used my HSA when I purchased my ring. They gave me what is called a letter of medical necessity. There's a whole process that you go through, very, very simple, but because of that, I was able to use my HSA for that, so I didn't actually have to come out of my pocket. And for those of you who are not familiar, an FSA, flexible savings account, HSA, health savings account. I do plan on making a video talking about what those are, the differences between those two. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell icon so you can be notified on future uploads. You can easily talk to an expert. Most of the times when I reached out to somebody, it was via email, and they got back in response to me very quickly, even when I did message them at like 3 in the morning. I currently am located here on the East Coast of the US, but they were always responsive. I never had any issues dealing with them. So, on the website, it is going to talk about a new product that they have coming out called the Ultrahuman Home. Not going to talk about this product too much for today. This one is just going to be focused on the ring. So it says here, accuracy at its core, right? Precision engineering at the ultra factory. Ultrahuman's integrated production facility ensures gold standard performance, testing, providing complete control over form factor and algorithmic accuracy. And as you can see here, shows you a little video here about the technology that goes into it and how they even craft this beautiful piece of technology and make it so thin and light on your finger that you hardly even know you're wearing it majority of the time. As you can see, it's trusted by the world's number one ranked cycling team and more. So UAE, if I'm not mistaken, that's United Arab Emirates team. Oh yeah, Team Emirates. Team ADQ, and many other high-performance teams worldwide trust Ultrahuman for its gold standard accuracy and unmatched volume and insight. So that says a lot right there. It's more accurate for the finger than the wrist. The finger, with its high perfusion index and arterioles, serves as a richer and more accurate source of biomarker information. And that's in comparison to like smartwatches, which I will be doing a video in reference to the Ultrahuman Ring Air versus the Apple Watch Series 9, which I just got, I think, about a month ago. And it just shows you right there, clinically validated, the cutting edge metabolic score. Our latest study validates the clinical grade accuracy of the metabolic score via M1. This novel research demonstrates a link between metabolic score, insulin sensitivity, and inflammation. Scientific reports, part of the Nature group. So that's a study. If you click on, you can read more about it. So yeah, there's a lot of information there. We're not going to be reading that today, or at least I won't. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to. A sublime design, wonder, not just a visual marvel, but also a compact powerhouse of health tracking. As you can see here, there's a ring, and then there's like this little, I don't want to say it's glass, but it's some type of material that covers all of the different sensors, which is pretty cool when you look at it. All of the different sensors and technology that is measuring these different pieces of information and providing that data to you more accurately. So you see it's only 2.4 grams light, 11 times lighter than your typical smartwatch. And when you put it in your hand, I would say it's probably, I don't know how much a penny weighs, but it's extremely light. I would say it's probably about, I don't know. Well, you know what? Let's see. How much does a penny weigh? That's in grams, right? Yeah, we're gonna do it in grams. In grams. Oh, okay, so let's try a nickel. 2.4. NICKEL. 5 grams. So it's about the weight between a nickel and a penny. That's how light it is. So I hope that helps. Let's try a dime real quick now that I'm down this wormhole. Oh, so it's 2.4, 2.27. It's about the weight of a dime. At least here, if you're in the U.S., it weighs about the weight of a dime, which is extremely light. So I think that says enough right there. But yeah, you can see all of the different pieces of technology in there. So beautiful from the inside. Dive into the realm of design ingenuity. Take a closer look at the stunning interiors, meticulously engineered for a seamless integration of form and function. And as you can see here, equipped with a PPG sensor, the Ultrahuman Ring Air empowers you to stay on top of your body's vitals, such as heart rate variability, known as HRV, blood oxygen saturation, and more. And there will be times, at least I don't really notice it until I'm in bed at night, but where you will see the little green light come on for a few seconds, and it's just gathering that information for you. Armed with 6 axis motion sensors, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe 6, maybe this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know what that is. So 6 motion sensors. It captures the intricacies of your body's movements with unmatched precision, accompanied by a non-contact temperature sensor to effortlessly monitor your body's temperature. Precision casted with a hypoallergenic, smooth inner shell. Ring Air curates an unmatched comfort level, enhancing your tranquility during sleep and rest. I hope y'all are proud of me. I'm doing my best to pronounce some of these words here. But yeah, so it's the material is hyperallergenic. So if you have allergies, you ain't got to worry about it. That's good. Strong from the outside. Robustness of fighter jet grade titanium, reinforced with tungsten carbide carbon coating for unmatched resilience. So you're getting the same grade, jet grade titanium as a fighter jet. That's pretty awesome. I didn't know this type of titanium was on a jet. Never rode one before. Battery life. Now it says up to 6 days battery life, so you can explore the uncharted uninterrupted. Now, I want to pause here. When I first did the unboxing, I only had it for like maybe a few days, and I made a comment about the battery life. I will mention that shortly after I got the Ring, there was a firmware update that I needed to download for the Ring, and since I've done that, I have noticed that the battery life has improved. The 6 days that they're mentioning here, I'm not sure if referring to like maybe the power saving mode. I do know that I've gotten 4 days without having to charge it. And in the app, you'll get a notification letting you know when the battery gets at about 30%. Said, hey, it's about 30%. Now's a good time to charge. and it will send you continuous reminders if you don't charge it within that first notification. So once you get down to 20%, 15%, it'll send you notifications and things of that nature. If you come down some more on the web page, you'll see here, recharge at your own pace, and peace of mind is precious. Never worry about running out of power. And just to go back to this battery part here, no, that's on my mind. So for the most part, the only time I take my ring off is one, when I'm washing my hands, because I don't want it's waterproof, but you know how like water gets under your ring and then it feels all nasty or whatnot. So I take my ring off when I'm washing my hands. If I'm at a bar, like eating finger food, like let's say some wings or something, or at a barbecue, of course I'm going to take my ring off for that because my hands are going to get covered in sauce or messy. And then I take my ring off when I take a shower. So those are the very few times that I take my ring off. But once I'm done, I put my ring right back on. So those are definitely times or periods where you can charge it. I normally charge my ring probably about once a week. And when I do, it's normally when I'm in the shower. I go ahead and put it on my charger, which is like a little dock. Then I go take a shower. When I come back, it's either almost full or full. The app does recommend not charging all the way to 100% because of how lithium batteries are, or whatever the case is. But on the app, it'll show you where there's a marker at the 30% and then a marker at the 90%. And it normally recommends taking it off the charger at around 90% to extend the life of the battery. But I also have the insurance, which protects me if I ever need to get it replaced. And as I told you all before, when I first got the ring, I got the matte gray. And a few weeks later, the Ultra Titanium came out. I messaged them because I was within that 30-day window. And they just sent me the new Ultra Titanium, and I sent the matte gray back. It wasn't any problem, didn't cost me anything, and they were very helpful with that whole process. So, precision in miniature. So, explore the future of uninterrupted health tracking with an incredibly compact Ring Air that's 11 times lighter than a typical smartwatch. And once again, this is all of the little technology that is inside of the ring. It's amazing how they fit all of that within just this light, compact form. And if I scroll down some more, you'll see how it assembles all of these different pieces together, which is pretty cool. And all of that is packed into the ring. And then as you can see, they're going to show you this little, I don't know what material this is, but this little layer that comes through and goes over all of that technology, but still allows it to see through it so that it can track that information. It's amazing, man. As we mentioned, waterproof, so deep dive, worry-free, with water resistance up to 330 feet. Revel in beachside, frolic, or dive into the pool. The Ring Air is just at home in water as it is on land. Wake up to your sleep insights. So the first thing in the morning when I open up the app, it shows me how I slept the night before. It also can tell you if you took a nap, which I think is pretty cool. If you do end up taking a nap in the middle of the day or something, it'll say, hey, we know you took a nap between this time and this time, and it will add it to the rest of your data, which is pretty awesome. So wake up to your sleep insights. The sleep index, intelligently designed to be your sole metric for sleep health, assesses your total sleep duration, resting heart rate, and restfulness, creating a comprehensive picture of your sleep quality. Temperature tracking made easy. Skin temperature is vital for measuring your body's physiological states and responses to various factors, including exercise, stress, and illness. Because whenever your body temperature when you're getting sick, your body temperature changes. So you can even notify you if it feels that you're possibly coming on with a cold, which I think is pretty neat. Listen to your body clock. The phase response curve, known as PRC, describes the intricate interplay between a stimulus such as light exposure, food, or exercise mapped to a shift in your body's circadian rhythm. Here's to a more active you. The movement index is designed to keep you moving for optimum glucose metabolism and to increase your non-exercise energy usage. So it'll show you your steps, your movement index, and your calories burned. Maximize recovery with key HRV insights, which, as we mentioned, is heart rate variability. The correlation between HRV and recovery is pivotal to understanding the body's recuperative capabilities and its readiness to take on another day. My apologies. And it has a baseline, and then it just shows you how it's going. The only nudges that you need: personalized nudges for a healthier you, get tailored made insights and alerts to help you make better choices in real time. The other thing that I will say here is this is towards the bottom of the app, and because of the integration with things like Apple Health, which I'm an iPhone user, and I started using an app called MyFitnessPal, right? So once I track a meal on MyFitnessPal, I'll see it show up on this list. I also have a smart scale, and whenever I weigh myself in the morning, I can see that information integrated in here as well. And all of the information from here also is integrated into the Apple Health app as well. So I think that's pretty cool that it just shows you a list of everything that's going on, so you can have all of that data available. Health Companion for your dreams. Track and decode your REM, deep, and light stages of sleep. Now, this is the M1, which is like I guess you can say like a sticker that goes into your arm, or I guess it's called a biomarker, right? So Ultrahuman M1 helps you measure the impact of food and activity in your body in real time through glucose as a biomarker. This is something that I haven't personally purchased. As you can see, depending on what you have going on in your health, this may be something that may be perfect for you. Let's see what it says. Yo!
Ultrahuman Cyborg helps you measure your overall metabolic health through the metabolic score. It's calculated during the course of the day based on your diet, sleep, exercise, and stress levels. Ultrahuman Cyborg measures the impact of your diet on your body through a food score. Each person's food response is different and greatly affected by the timing, too. For every 2-hour food intake window, Ultrahuman Cyborg calculates a food score based on glucose changes and your glucose peak in that period. These scores are measured on a scale of 1 to 10, with foods that are good for your metabolic health scoring high. If food scores less than 5, it's probably either bad for you or needs to be eaten at a different time. The glucose zone and the stability of your glucose levels during a workout determine your activity fueling score. This score is calculated on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest. This score depends on the time you spent in each glucose zone during your activity. They range from underfueled to low intensity to high intensity to overfueled.
Interesting. So that does not automatically come with the ring. That is something that you can get additionally. And as I mentioned, depending on health issues that you may have, or maybe trying to overcome, this may be perfect for you. So it's cool to know that they offer this. At this particular time in my life, I'm not sure that I need it personally, but I do got a physical coming up, and if the doctor tells me, I need to start paying more attention, then, this is something I may actually end up getting and then also reviewing as well. So that's a possibility. You may see that come up on this channel. Air with M1, Air is referring to the ring, and then M1, which is the biomarker that we just saw. Uniquely powerful. A glucose data from the M1 in convergence with the movement, body, and sleep data from Ring Air will provide sleep correlations to improve your metabolic health. So this is screenshots of the actual app itself, and then this is what the app will show you in reference to the information from the M1 biomarker. So you see for people with the ring, you'll see your movement index, sleep index, stress index, recovery, sleep, all those other stuff. And then for those who choose to get the M1, it'll also show you metabolic score, glucose, and all that other details that you may need. Food insights, metabolic vectors. So that's pretty cool. With movement and glucose data, get predictive activity insights based on your glucose patterns. So to say like experiencing a steep glucose spike based on your previous data, 30-minute walk should help you control this glucose spike. So it's actually pretty cool. So it told you your glucose levels are high, and it said, hey, to bring it back down, you need to go walk for 30 minutes. That's, I don't know, I might have to explore this. I might have to purchase one. Correlate your HRV, sleep, and glucose metrics to decode your recovery and metabolic functions. I was just thinking, like, what if you just had like a big meal and there was like, whoa, this thing is high. You got to go walk for 3 hours. But it would be good to know that it's high. You need to bring it back down. So, I mean, I guess pros and cons, right? Ultrahuman Ring Air and M1 is unstoppable, seamlessly integrated, and deep correlated insights to make better decisions at every step. So I do get these notifications like whenever I look at my sleep information to let you know if your heart rate dropped late. The information reference to me just having the ring, it doesn't necessarily tell me that it's because it was a meal that I had or something in reference to glucose, but it just let me know that, hey, your heart rate dropped early last night or it dropped late in reference to your sleep and your recovery and things of that nature. So as you mentioned before, people or professional cyclists on the UAE Emirates and UAE Team ADQ also use the Ultrahuman Ring. So professional athletes use this. Rouge Insurance Cycling Team. And so professionals use it as well. And of course, you've seen this thing reviewed on different platforms such as The Verge, Wearable, and TechCrunch. For example, as you mentioned, they do have apps for both iOS and Google or Android. What I will say for iOS, because that's what I use, the app, I am able to download it on my phone, iPhone, my Apple Watch, my iPad, my MacBook, my TV. And they do have widgets as well. So I can see my widget on my phone, on my MacBook, on my iPad. Yeah. And then on Apple Watch, when you're customizing your watch faces, you can also use the, I guess you can say the customizations for Ultrahuman Air as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, for those looking to switch to Ultrahuman Ring Air, it's about time and made so easy. You can even trade in your old smart ring, including an Aura ring, for credit up to $100 towards your new Ultrahuman Ring Air. Now, for those who may have other rings or Ultrahuman, not Ultrahuman, Aura ring, a lot of those other rings have subscriptions. There are no subscription fees with the Ultrahuman Ring Air, which is something I absolutely love. So you pay for the ring the first time, and for those who are interested, you can also choose to purchase insurance, which is either $30 a year, which breaks down to about $2.50 a month, but they take it as a one-time payment. So in the event, your ring is damaged, lost, stolen, whatever the case is, they can go ahead and send you a new one. So I thought that was pretty cool, but there's no monthly maintenance fee or monthly recurring fees in order to use the app or the ring. It's the most comfortable wearable in the world. Ring Air is sleek and forged with fighter jet grade robust titanium with a hyperallergenic epoxy resin coating to protect your skin. The understated matte finish keeps the ring smudge proof and neat at all times. And by the way, in reference to the durability, I'm pretty clumsy, so like I often hit my hands like on a door frame or something like that, and or even like reaching in my pockets to get my keys. Sometimes my key will scratch my ring, and being that I have the the raw titanium one, I don't have any scratches on it, which is a good thing. But I didn't think it was going to be this durable, but for $349 and some change, I'm happy so far. So, it talks about some of the things that we talked about earlier here. But the main thing here is that if you do already own another type of ring, you can use it as a trade-in as well. So I thought that's pretty cool. On the page here for the Ultrahuman Ring Air, if you just click at the top for the Ring Air, it'll walk you through the process of purchasing one, receiving that free ring sizing kit, so that way you can find the perfect fit for you. As I mentioned, if you want to trade in, you certainly can. If you want to get engraving, you can do all of that fancy stuff, as well as get insurance if you do decide that you would like to have that. All right, so before we go any further, I'm just going to do a very, very quick review of the app because the app is a part of using the Ring experience, right? So as you can see here on iOS on my iPhone, I have widgets on top. So at the top, we have our movement index, we have our sleep index, recovery scores, and then just some other apps that I have in reference to health, of course. So we have Apple Watch, my scale, Ultrahuman, and then my health fitness app. So if we go into the app, as you can see, normally when you just wake up in the morning, it's going to start by showing you your sleep index. And at the very top, you can see where it says today. And you can see all of the previous days. I think it goes back only to a certain amount of time. But as you can see, it shows you all of the past information. So that information just allows you to transition from the different or the past days, right? So when you first wake up in the morning, shows you your sleep index. It has that bar that shows you how you slept throughout the night. It shows you the times you slept, which for me was between 12:57 to 6:34 a.m. I got about 4 hours of sleep. It shows my resting heart rate. Now for each of these options to the right, you'll see that little arrow pointing to the right. If you tap on that, it'll give you a little bit more information that you can take a look at for how you slept or for whatever that index is monitoring. And it's quite a bit of information that you can use to hopefully get a better understanding of your sleep or whatever that index is monitoring, and then use that information to identify things you need to work on. So the dynamic recovery, which is connected to not only your sleep but also your stress, it, as you mentioned, shows you the resting heart rate, temperature, heart rate variability, and it shows me, at least in my case, that it's increased due to the stress rhythm. If I tap on that, once again, you get additional information. They use colors to let you know whether you're doing good, okay, bad, or it needs to be worked on. Has a lot more graphs and shows you a lot more information that you can use to improve and track. The movement index, pretty straightforward. It tracks your movement, shows you your calories, your steps burned. And as we mentioned before, if you tap on that, you can see some additional information. In reference to your steps, as you can see, you can set a goal. So if you tap on that, as you mentioned, for me, my goal, I guess at this point, is 5,000 steps. I really need to change that to 10,000 steps per day, but it can show you how much you're actually taking steps, how much calories you're burning, things of that nature. And as I mentioned, I'm not taking too much time because I know I want to try to keep the video as short as possible so you all don't get bored. But a new thing that it's recently added was stress rhythm. So if you tap on stress, it is now monitoring my stress. So for the most part, I'm relaxed or stimulated, very little stress. I'm a laid back kind of person. Stressing is bad for your health, so I generally try not to do that. If you come back down some more, it'll show you, it's because it's here in Florida, as you can see in the top left, it's 8:17 p.m., which it says 2017. It's showing you your neutral impact of light and inactivity. So the sun is going down over here. It's almost dark, but it's June. So in the wintertime, of course, in time change, it gets darker faster. But for now, it's showing that I have about 2 hours left. It says you're currently in the circadian dead zone, while light exposure and exercise have other varied benefits. Exposure during this window has minimal impact on your circadian clock. So it's just keeping you aware of that. Once again, if you tap on that, it shows you a little bit more information about your circadian phase alignment. So as I mentioned earlier, it's giving you a lot of information. If you come down, you have your stimulant window, which for you folks that love caffeine, it kind of gives you a window as to when you can consume caffeine and when you should actually stop. It actually gives you some recommendations on how to kind of down or some type of sleep aids to kind of help you wind down, which, as you can see by my sleep earlier, I definitely need to start using this a lot more, but it's just some additional information. If you come down, there's options for breathe work, which is kind of like breathing exercises to kind of help you meditate, or even, I guess you can say, if you're stressed out or your heart rate is too high, to kind of help bring you down, mellow you out, instead of using some of those other things we like to use when we try to mellow out. You have the options for workout. If you come down, you have the options for individual markers, such as like your heart rate, beats per minute, and as I mentioned, it can give you that in a graph format. You have the VO2 max, you have the temperature deviation, and it can even give you information for your temperature during the day as well as the nights. Here in Florida, it has been in the 90s a lot, so it makes sense that mine is at 95 degrees during the daytime. You can check your heart rate variability once again during the day and night. You can check your resting heart rate. You can even set like goals. So as I mentioned here, we have step goals, activity hours, active minutes, steps, whenever you want to sleep early or whenever you wake up early, which I was successful, but I do need to go to sleep earlier than 1 a.m. I need to change that. Sleep duration, workout minutes, phase, advanced activity. And if you click on that plus sign, you can even add goals for those of you who decide to get the M1 sensor. If you come down some more, you have your timeline. So if you click on that plus sign, you can manually add things here, such as your weight, food, sleep, activity, workouts, other. Now, because I have the MyFitnessPal app, as I was telling you earlier, whenever I add whatever I ate in that app, it will add that to this app. So you can see this timeline here gives you notifications. Being that I was editing a video earlier, it's telling me I need to stand up and stretch. It's showing when I logged my lunch. So I had Panera bread today. So like some broccoli soup and a sandwich. Shows you how many calories that was. And then of course it combines that into the health app to show you how much calories you took in, how much calories you burn, things of that nature. So scroll down some more, you'll see information about the battery. So if you tap on the little circle with the eye in it, it'll show you to optimize your Ring battery. Partial charging is generally better for lithium-ion batteries. This means charging your battery in shorter bursts throughout the day instead of long charge. If possible, keep the battery level between 30% and 80%. And as you can see right now, I'm at 55%. So the little line to the right is 80%. And if this were to go below 30%, you would see the line for 30%. And if you tap on that little arrow, it actually shows you your battery. A new feature that I just noticed maybe about 4 days ago is locate my ring. So kind of like how on Apple you have the option to locate your AirTag and you'll feel your phone vibrating as you get closer to the ring. So I'm moving my arm away from the phone, and as I move it back closer, you'll start to see that adjust. Kind of like trying to find an AirTag with your phone. So that's pretty cool. And then you can always just say, found my ring. And I'll just say, hey, your Air Raw Titanium size 9, which is one I have, was found. So pretty cool. They're adding some new stuff. You can check for your firmware update, which mine is up to date. You can troubleshoot, contact support. There's even options on how to care for your ring. At the very top, if you click on that little circle in the top right, it'll kind of take you back to that same page you were on. At the bottom, there's options for metabolism, which is in reference to the M1 marker that we were talking about earlier, the sensor that tracks your glucose. There's options to share your zones with like your family or friends. There's options for even like workouts and meditation and sleep. As I mentioned with Ultrahuman Air or Ultrahuman in general, I guess for the ring part, there is no monthly subscription for the ring. So you have access to all of this data for free. So you all can watch workouts and do yoga and Pilates and weight loss and meditate and sleep and be productive and all this different content that they have here. And then they also have an option here which is called Insights. And if you tap on the Insights, it gives you like a weekly summary of all of your information compiled onto one page to show you how well you've done. And I think that's pretty cool. You even have the options for connected apps, which is kind of like all of the apps that you can connect to it. So kind of like how we were talking about earlier, so this is the insights I was telling you about. So if you tap on the insights, you can see how well you're doing, your sleep, your recovery, your movement. And if you scroll down, there's just loads and loads of information comparing you to your previous 3 weeks. So you can see kind of like a trend. Are you getting better, worse, or whatever the case is? And you can even download or share that. In reference to the connected other apps, these are all the apps. Now, when I first got this app, there were only like 3 options here, which was Apple and Google. Since then, those 3 months, they've now added so much more, such as MyFitnessPal and Garmin and Fitbit and Peloton and a whole list of other stuff. So the list is steadily growing. And keep in mind, this is a company that I don't even think they've been around 3 years yet, if I'm not mistaken, but they're constantly growing and they're constantly adding information to it. You can even have access to coaches, so you can either choose to like look at articles about certain topics, or you can even reach out to somebody directly. So a lot of information in this app, and as I mentioned once again, you even have access to widgets and even have integration into other apps such as Apple. Now, in reference to the question, is it worth it? For me, and my experience with the ring over the last 30 days, well, my apologies, the last 3 months, my apologies, I absolutely love this thing. I mean, there have been times where I left the house without my ring, and I felt like I felt weird. I'm not gonna say naked, but I felt like something was missing. I can even go as far as to say is there have been times where I've left the Apple Watch Series 9 at home and wasn't totally upset because I still had the ring. So as I mentioned, being able to track your steps, your distance, being able to work out, a lot of the things that the Apple Watch would do, the Ultra Ring has the ability to track those same things. And there's an argument to be made that it's possibly even a little bit more accurate because it is on your ring versus your watch. With your watch, as some of you all know, depending on how you wear your watch, you can have it on too tight or you can have it on too loose. So depending on how you wear your watch is going to affect the data that is reported for those different activities. Whereas with the ring, you have to have a ring that fits, right? So as long as it fits on your ring and it's snug to the point where it can still come off, but if you're like doing jumping jacks, it's not going to fling off or anything, then you're good to go. So, and on top of that, it's light. It doesn't get in your way of doing anything. There are some times where like if I have on my Apple Watch and then I fold my arms across my chest, my hand will click the button to the side and then Siri will start talking, which happened a few times at work. So I absolutely love this thing at $349, which, by the way, was paid for with my HSA. I absolutely love it. I don't have any complaints. So that is my 3-month review. I will go ahead and do a 6-month review just to make sure the battery life is still keeping up as to what it's been so far, which has been giving me about 4 days or so. But that's my opinion here. Leave a comment down below if you have an Ultrahuman ring or any type of smart ring, or if you plan on getting one. I'd like to know your opinions and your feedback. Thank you all once again for being the best part of IXCLUSV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you all in the next one, folks. Peace.